Oh no, good on him for coming out. Good on him for trying. Good on him for getting out of bed. He's an inspiration. You know that is not what you want. Fuck, we don't need that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sometimes you see comments on a lineup and you're like, how did they get that bloody gig? Like the nicest woman in the world, you know, I might hear her go, oh, I could never go out with anyone who's 5'8". I'm there like, oh god, I'm 4'10". I'm 4'10".
What's happening, guys, and welcome to another episode of Jordan Jarrett-Bryan's The Coolest Disabled in the World. That is me. I am him. You know how it goes by now. This is the podcast where, you know, man, I'm going to say it again because I always say it, but just for any newcomers, I invite really interesting and amazing people onto the podcast to talk about the amazing and interesting things that they are doing or have done. They may or may not be disabled. They are, hence the title of this podcast. And we explore that. And we try to really find out, are they cooler than me? That's really the test. And my next guest is going to go some way to pushing me in terms of coolness. We've got the comic Will Robbins on the podcast this week. Will, talk to me, brother. How are you, sir?
Yes, Jordan. Hello. How are you doing? I'm good. I'm all good. It's Monday night. I'm feeling all right.
Feeling good? Feeling great?
Yeah, it's good. I've just had a massive prawn stir fry, so I'm feeling nice.
Did you cook it or did you buy it?
I bought it. I mean, I cooked it. Sorry, but I bought the bits. No, I bought the bits, but it was quite simple. It was like a bag of stir fry, prawn sauce, chuck it all in on the wok. Yeah, it's good.
Are you a good cook?
Yeah, I'm slightly above average. I can do.
I like that. That's very specifics. Yeah. I'm slightly above average.
yeah, I can do about 10, 15 dishes. And I just rotate.
Damn, that's a lot. 10, 15 dishes.
Well, like variety of different meals. You can probably do 10, can't you?
Not sure I could, mate. That's quite impressive.
You must get bored sometimes.
I do. But I'm not a foodie. You know, some people you probably appreciate different foods and I just like to eat. Food is fuel for me. It's purely fuel. It's purely
survival.
Yeah, man. I'm not one of these guys that I like the kind of turmeric taste in the chicken and the lemony flavor in the just give me the food. Just give me the food.
Yeah, that's me. That's me. I'm into it. Give me the turmeric.
Give it okay. All right, that's fair enough. Will, on this podcast, what we do with our guests, we start off by asking them for their coolness number out of 10. So out of 10, what would you say is your coolest number?
It's got to be 9.9.
9.9? I love this.
I don't know. I mean, what am I meant to do? Go 1 or go? If I go 1, I've got issues. If I go 10, maybe 5. 5's a safe. Maybe 5's a safe bet. But yeah, let's just go 9. Let's go 9. I like 9.
We're going 9. Okay, we're going high.
Yeah.
So what we'll do, we'll have a chat now, Will, and then by the end of it, we'll come back and we'll work out if 9 out of 10 actually was a fair assessment of your coolness.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll come back. We'll evaluate that for sure.
Yeah.
Will, you are a comic. I've seen lots of your work. I think you're very, very funny. Rate you very, very highly. So let's start off with worst gig. I always ask comedians this question because I think it kind of shows the level of self-deprecation and openness and honesty that you don't often get from people. What was the gig that you did where you just that was sorry.
I thought it's painful. It's painful. I think must have been a few years in, maybe 2, maybe less, maybe 2 years in, and the girl that I was going out with at the time. I remember I was nervous for her to come to the gig. Eventually, I booked a good gig, as in like in a proper club, and I was like, oh yeah, you should come to that one. And then got on stage. You know, she was a bit nervous, you know, before the gig, and I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. I was like weirdly confident, and got on stage. You know, and it wasn't like super busy. There's probably like 30 or 40 people in there, but I could see her. She had a light on her face. Got on stage, started the material, forgot what I was saying, dried up,
Bro.
stuttered a bit, looked at her. All I could see was her. She just looked mortified, and that just
Oh
made me freeze up.
no.
I just froze up even more, and I couldn't pull myself out of it. I was like half saying words. I was not really. I couldn't speak. I'd lost the ability to talk, and I was on stage, in silence for a long time, and it was a tricky car ride home. Yeah.
What happened? What was said or not
Well,
said?
yeah. Well, I think the thing is, she didn't say anything, so that was like worse. And I was like, oh, just say it. Like, just. I was like, no, it was a bad gig. I don't know. It was just awkward. Nothing was said. It's worse not saying anything. I don't know. It was just. I was broken. Yeah, definitely.
Was there a second date or was there a follow-up date after that?
Yeah, no. I was going out. We were living
Oh,
together
okay,
at
you
the
were
time.
together. Okay,
Yeah,
okay, all
yeah,
right.
yeah,
So it
yeah.
wasn't terminal.
It wasn't terminal, but it was still
It was a bad
equally
date.
painful. Yeah, yeah.
Indeed. Lessons learned, I'm sure from that, no doubt. You will took a comedy course. I remember when I interviewed you on one of my other channels, other
Mm,
platforms, you talking about a comedy course that you went on,
yep.
and I found that interesting then. Just talk me through again what a comedy course is and what you got from it.
So you go there and they basically put clown paint on your face and dress you up like a clown. Put the big shoes? They put the big shoes on you and you get a little honker. You go ha 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 ha. That's what you do, Jordan. You should do it. It's good. No. What is that? Clown? No, that's clown school. Send you that. That's what people are saying.
That's okay. That's,
Someone shouted at me on the street the other day in the car. I was driving the car, and then he was having road rage. He put the window down and went, "Clown school's that way, mate."
I'm going to go in Sainsbury's. There's no need for that.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. No, but yes, what was it? A comedy school. It's basically it's for people who just want to get the ball rolling with their stand up. So they just sign up. There's about, I don't know, eight evenings you spend working on material, trying stuff out, blah 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 in the room, and it's building up to a gig at the end. And you do a gig in some working man's club where everyone's brought their mate along to watch them essentially die and try stand up for the first time. But it's a good thing. It's a good way just to get the first gig over and done with, and you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
sort
yeah.
of it's great for that reason. And then I remember after I did it, I didn't gig for a long time. I was like, I don't want to do that. But then a couple of years later, I was like, okay, I'm ready now.
You did it. Okay. And
Yeah,
when you're a seasoned comic now, Will, when you go on stage and
yeah.
you start you enter the stage, enter the arena, what's the reaction from the audience to you when you step onto stage?
Where? What do you mean? Before I've spoken, or like
Before you've
after when
spoken,
I?
as soon as you come on, what's the reaction?
I don't know. I think people might be intrigued. I think people at the beginning of any gig are a bit worried. They want to feel safe and confident that you're able to make them laugh. So there's always a bit of nervous energy at the top. So you walk out and it's not, they're like, fucking come on then, so make me laugh. There's that energy, and maybe because I'm shorter, maybe they think, oh, who's this now? Who's this? What's going on here? Um, maybe that might make people more awkward, or more like, oh god, I hope this is funny. I hope this isn't another disabled act, just having a go, sort of thing. But I think that's across the board. It's not just people with who look visually a bit different. It's the same. They're like, who's this? Come on, make me laugh.
And for those that are watching this that can't see you in your entirety, just
Yeah,
tell people when you say you're short, what your disability
yeah.
is.
So I've got a form of dwarfism in it, and that for me means I'm 4'10", so I'm just short in stature. Yeah, so people, there's not many of us about, so especially when you walk on stage, they're like, "Oh, who's this? Well, okay, short person on stage. Hope he's funny. Hope he's not just filling a diversity quote. Do you know what I
And and
mean?
and on that, Will, do you know the difference
Mm.
between a sympathy laugh and a real laugh?
Yeah, so there's lots of different types of laughter. Sympathy is not one you want ever. Um,
What does that sound like?
no, like a British. I imagine it as a British sort of politeness type of. Oh no! Good on him for coming out. Good on him for trying. Good on him for getting out of bed. He's an inspiration. You know that is not what you want. Fuck, we don't need that. Thank you. But there's lots of different types of laughter. I'll tell you what, when you do a self-deprecating joke and then it gets too big of a laugh, that can almost feel quite. Yeah. You say something self-deprecating and then someone at the back's like and you're just like
All
it's
right,
a
mate.
weird balance. Yeah, because you want them all to like laugh, but then there's hang on a minute, don't laugh too long. Yeah, I've done a gig where I would be doing my bits, and then someone just got hysterics, and then they wouldn't stop laughing. So then you just get a bit paranoid. You're like, what are you laughing at? Are you like talking with your mate? Are you laughing at me? Like, yeah, so we're picky when it comes to the laughs.
Yes, yes. And
It's weird.
do you address your disability early, or do you A, do you just do address your disability early? But secondly, how much of disability features as part of your material, or do you actually swerve it and try and not be that guy?
Yeah, I've tried lots of different ways. I normally reference it with a very quick, excuse me, a quick joke at the top about. I just ask the audience who's been on a roller coaster, and they're like, "Wee," and I go, "Wee, good for you." Yeah, and then some people get it. It's just like obviously I'm
Breaks the ice, yeah.
under 5 foot. I've not been on some of the bigger ones, bigger roller coasters. I've been on the kid ones, Jordan. They're not, yeah, they're fantastic. Yeah, I normally reference it. Sometimes I don't, as in I won't mention it straight away, and then 2 minutes in, I'll just do some jokes on it, and then I might say something like, "Yeah, realize, I'm sure," because I feel like people are waiting for it just to reference it, mention it, break the ice, say something funny about it, etc., etc. Yeah, I mix it up just out of boredom and experimenting, but yeah,
And in terms of your material, is so I follow a lot of black comedians, right?
yeah,
And a lot of black comedians. One of my frustrations, but I kind of get it, is that a lot of them will lean very heavily into black culture. Now,
mm,
cool, you kind of write about the things that you know, right? That there's a
yeah,
logic to that. I get that. But sometimes I'm like, it becomes a bit predictable and a little bit
yeah.
sometimes cringe. Same
Yeah.
with disability. Do you find that you write about the thing that you know most about, or do you not? Do you try and actively try to stay away where you can from jokes around disability?
I'm sort of yeah, sort of middle ground in terms of yes, there'll be sort of lots of height stuff, short jokes, stories that have involved my height. Height in the workplace, height in relationships, height in the home, whatever it is.
Mm,
There is lots of that, but there's also lots of not any disability stuff. It's because that isn't the be all and end all of my life. I live
mm,
a quite a normal sort of average life, really.
mhm.
But yeah, it comes into it. Yeah, it's about 50-50, and yeah, it's not all disability. But I find like when I do, say if I go to like I don't know Leicester or something, or like Middle England, they kind of do just want to hear the height jokes, and it's like it's weird about how much I pander to that, and it's like yeah, I've got a bunch of them, and they can be reeled off, and that's fine. But it might I might want to tell you a story about something that happened to me last week when I was driving somewhere, or what I did with my partner, or what I did on a job I was working on, which none of that will really be about disability. The height might pop in now and again as a little. Oh yeah, I couldn't even reach the thing or whatever it is. I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And you mentioned that tends to happen more in the Midlands and other parts of the country.
yeah. No,
Do you have a
I
theory
don't
as to
know.
why?
It's yeah. So my reasoning behind that was I would say I don't know why. I think there's just a bit more diversity in London. It's there's just a bit more progressive, let's say. So, say if you go to sort of like a gig in the middle of the countryside, um, I don't know. They're just like you can just get. I think you can get away with more in the sort of out of town gigs. What I mean by more is, um, they just want a bit hack. They just, they were like a rude joke, a dick joke, or
Mm,
some hack sort of material, and they're just, they just don't enjoy that, and there's nothing wrong with
yeah.
that. Um, so if a short person comes on stage, they might want to hear a load of short stuff, and that will just get them a quick laugh. But maybe I want to, I don't know, talk about family or like other stuff.
Mm.
Yeah,
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 yeah, I hear you. I have
mm,
this thing in my head, Will. I've had it for a while about the comedy scene,
yeah,
right? And you have comedy on TV is obviously massive. That's where the big stars are, the big money's made. But you have this massive circuit of comics that make their living and a good living from it, I'm sure, that never get anywhere near television, right? But they're on the
yeah.
road and they're working regular and they're doing really well. Is it is it in my head that it's okay. It's a bit like in football. You have players in the championship. That's a high level. They're well paid, but really,
Yeah,
they want to be in the Premier League. Yeah, the goal is they want to be in the Premier League. They might not be able to
yeah.
get there, but is it the same? Is there this kind of like on the road circuit of comics that secretly all want to be on? I don't know what the gigs on TV are, or actually, is it
Mm.
not? Are most people quite happy staying in that particular world? Is the Holy
I
Grail
think that
TV? I guess I'm asking.
yeah, I think the landscape's changing. So the Holy Grail obviously was TV, and I think every comic did sort of see that as a goal. Um, it's getting less important. Yes, people still want to do it, get the TV gigs, for clout or like ego or confidence. It's a lovely feeling, no doubt, and it sets you among out sets you apart from the rest of the pack. But yeah, we are working. We'd all love that, but it's kind of about social media a bit now.
Okay.
Who's got the most following, and then that just means they can sell tickets, and they're sort of self
Okay.
sufficient. Like
Yeah.
people can do a telly. I know comedians who've done Apollo or done um, Russell Howard's Good News or whatever these shows are, and it doesn't convert into tickets. But
Okay.
if someone's got 50, 60, 70, 100K followers on Insta, they'll be able to go on a nice tour and
Yeah.
make some money off that because of their online following. The numbers on TV are getting lower and lower. So it used to be the holy grail, but make a reel instead. Get the Insta reels out, I'd say.
I hear it. I hear it. What
Yeah.
annoys you, Will, about comics and comedy? What's the thing that really just
Mm. Hmm.
yeah.
Ah, sometimes you see comics on a lineup and you're like, how did they get that bloody gig? Who the hell is booking them? They're pathetic. They smell like cabbage. Those ones. That annoys me. But then I'm like, oh, I've not emailed that club, so maybe that's why. Yeah. So sometimes, I think it's just interesting. Some comments shoot off. Some comments, you know, blow up, and some people
Yeah,
don't. And
yeah.
like, it doesn't necessarily mean the funniest ones,
Gets the top.
get the
Mm.
get the biggest. Yeah. It's just it's a game that we're sort of like in a raffle or in a bingo ball machine, and great analogy. Yes, it's a bit random. It can be a bit random sometimes, but I just
Random.
think you gotta stick at it and then see what comes along.
And I know you've got a show with your comedic partner. I don't know
Yeah,
if you're still doing it. Is that
yeah,
as a result of you have to be self sufficient? You mentioned in the digital online world, if the big
mm,
TV contracts aren't coming your way, did you feel like, well, we just got to do it ourselves? We've got to make our own platform, our own show. We've got our own
yeah.
following. Is that a result of that?
So me and my pal Ben, we started the Lovely Boys a few years ago, and that was purely just to make sketches. It wasn't live, it wasn't stand up, just comedy sketches. Started the Insta, got a bit of a following, and then we pitched for a radio series with BBC Radio 4, and we got that, and we just made a sketch show. And I think us having the following would have swayed the decision a bit. There would have been,
Okay.
we obviously wrote a script and I had an idea for it as well. But yeah, they would have been like, oh, and they've got a following. Helps
Yeah,
shows
yeah.
that you're doing it yourself anyway. And once you're doing it yourself and getting somewhere, people will want to jump on, which is fine.
And of course, yeah, yeah. And what are some of the kind of most proudest, enjoyable things that you've achieved in comedy? What are the things, the gigs that you've done that make you think, yeah, man, that was super cool. That was dope. I'm really proud of that.
I remember I was sat on my sofa having a nap, and I was watching a bit of telly, and my phone rang, and then my agent was like, "Oh, are you busy tonight?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, kind of quite busy, but yeah, maybe not. Why? What are you up to?" And then they were like, "Oh, um, someone's pulled out of a support gig at London Palladium. Do you want to do 15 minutes at London Palladium, which is like 2,500 seats?" And I was like, when? Tonight? He goes, yeah, can you get there in half an hour? I was like,
Oh
bloody
wow.
hell. Half an hour. I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Basically, the I won't say who, but the support act kid was ill, and the kid was in hospital, so he had to just go to hospital. The kid is
Uh,
fine, by the way, but I was
okay.
just like, yeah, yeah, the kid is fine. It's not going to get dark, but yeah, yeah. So because of that, in steps, Will Robbins to
Nice.
save the day. That was good. He did 15 minutes in front of 2,500, and I preferred not knowing about it. I didn't want to. I
I was
didn't
gonna ask you.
prefer.
I was gonna
Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, are you the sort of person that would prefer to have a 2 week, 1 month lead up to prep for it, or actually just being thrown in? Is that where you kind
I
of
want
think
to.
you thrive?
Yeah, I want to be thrown in. It's because I'm an overthinker, so I procrastinate, ruminate. Be like, oh, maybe if I say this and I do a turn like this, that will get a big like. Or like, yeah, or like I wear this shirt and I'll just like, there's too much time to overthink. I just put on
Yes.
what I thought looked alright and zoomed out the door and then just rolled on stage and it was great. I was way more relaxed. Just it was good.
How did it go? Did you smash it?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It's really good. It was like quite bizarre to play a room that big, and it was like looking. I don't even know where to look. It was like people in the balcony and people sort of by your feet. It was just a good learning experience. Really, I didn't film it. That's irritating.
Ah.
It was all too
Okay, well,
rushed. I was
but
like,
I
yeah,
believe you. I believe you will,
yeah.
for what it's worth. I mean,
Oh yeah,
I, I think it happened. Do you know what I mean? That's all you need to know.
it happened.
No
It
doubt, no
happened.
doubt. Away from comedy, Will, just something I've
Mm,
got a bit of some would say a bit of an obsession with. I'm really fascinated by relationships, dating, and people
mm,
with disabilities experiences, finding
yeah,
love and dating, right?
yeah.
What's it been? I don't know if you've got a partner now, forgive me, but what's been your history or your experiences with your disability and
Mm,
dating, chatting up women, being in relationships, if any at all? You might well just
yeah,
say,
yeah,
look,
yeah, yeah.
I've been fine.
No, no, it's yeah, definitely when I was younger, more so, it was really hard, and it was like I was definitely a bit shyer, and especially with the height thing, every couple you see out and about or on the telly, the man is normally higher, taller than the woman. So I don't know, it was just it would be something in my head, and that would be sort of quite hard to get the confidence to ask a girl out because you just think it's if a girl is taller than me. Yeah, so let's just say it was a bit of a slow start for sure. Um, but, I've yeah, I don't do the dating apps. I don't do them. I just think that's somewhere that isn't really most people hate it anyway. But I just think like having a disability on a dating app, it's not really. it just wasn't really working. I probably met like one person, wasn't getting matches, wasn't getting proper connections.
Do you think it
I
was
need to,
because of your disability?
yeah, I sort of wanted to be open about it. Put a picture of me up on there and say my height. Yeah, just wasn't getting the matches. It's not the place for. I don't think a dating app is the place for someone with a sort of. I don't know. I don't want to say disability because that's such a broad word,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think in terms of my case only, with the height, it's not really getting the matches. I need to meet people face to face, talk to them, see if I speak to them, and then I can ask like, oh, there's I feel like there's a little something there. Do you want to do something? That's the way I've done it as I've got older. But yeah, it seems, it's got better. I've got a lovely partner at the minute, and it's all good. But yeah, it's in your head, when you've got a disability,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
hear comments like, I don't know, like, it's like the nicest woman in the world, I might hear her go, "Oh, I could never go out with anyone who's 5'8". And I'm there like, oh god, I'm
No chance.
4'10". I'm
Yeah.
4'10". And that's coming from like, the nicest, fucking wokest, most progressive lady you've ever seen. And then that's like sort of a true story. I was like, she's such a progressive lady and doing such great things. And then I just heard her drop a comment about short people, and I was like, whoa. Like,
Yes.
where do you draw the line? You really wouldn't say it about, I don't know, like a larger person. You'd be like, oh, I can't go out with them. That's disgusting. They're too big. You just wouldn't. That's become unacceptable, which is good.
And
But
so on
yeah,
that, Will, do you think that being disabled or disabilities are almost the
mm,
last characteristic that is acceptable to, if not be rude about, but not consider positively? Because you're right, somebody wouldn't say, "Oh, I wouldn't date someone who is Indian," well, not
mm,
overtly and outwardly anyway. I wouldn't date somebody who is. Do you know what I mean? In a way that they feel
yeah,
they can just dismiss somebody that's in a wheelchair, or
yeah,
as one arm sort of thing.
yeah. 100%. It's still okay to socially okay to dismiss this. Yeah, and people. It's a tricky debate because people are allowed. You know what you like and you know what you want. So on that arm, it's okay. But if someone goes, oh, that's disgusting. I would never go out with someone who's shorter than me, or like shorter than 5'7". It's got to be taller than this. If someone says that on their dating profile, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just not the type of
Yeah,
person
yeah,
I would go for anyway.
sure,
Someone
sure.
who's trying to hit all these kind of like physical
Metrics.
attributes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's just like, well, obviously I would say this, but I think the physical attributes are the least important thing. Obviously, you still need to find the person attractive. I get it. If it's a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker. We move on. But yeah, I do think there's something to be said, and it's tricky because saying disability as a whole, it's too broad of a term. It's too broad. It's like there's so many different disabilities out there. But yeah, height is that can be an issue with dating big time, and I'm sure wheelchair users as well. It's less spoken about. I would say the word
hmm
you never
hmm
you never hear someone on their dating profile going, "Oh, gotta be walking, gotta be able to walk." Do you know what I mean?
yeah, 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 yeah.
It just wouldn't come up. Then obviously you would I don't know. You wouldn't need to mention it. You can't just
No, no.
list all these disabilities that you don't want.
No, it's true. It's true. I find it interesting
Yeah,
just that we all
yeah. No,
think
it is.
about the kind of thing that we like and our
Yeah,
preferences, but when it comes to kind of saying it out loud, it feels like it's acceptable to kind of say the thing that's a physical attribute in a way that you wouldn't
mm,
with race or gender or religion. You would,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? You
hundred
might think those
percent.
things, but you'd never say those things out loud.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, you just wouldn't. Yeah, you wouldn't say it about race really at all, unless you're a maniac.
Unless you're crazy or just a racist. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
or
mean?
or
Sort of
or,
thing.
or just race, or just old school
Just
racism.
old school racism.
Yeah.
Will, to wrap up, we ask all our guests this question. What is, and it's actually quite good timing for this question, what is the stupidest thing somebody has asked you in regards to your disability?
I think someone said to me. I think someone said to me. So I think someone said to me, "Do you have a shorter lifespan?" And
Wow.
I was like, I was just like, first of all, I'd never even heard of that. I think I've even, years later mentioned it to a doctor, and they were just like, no, that's absolute short people don't die younger. That's just like a myth. Yeah, so that I think that was pretty
I've never heard that
stupid.
before. Is that something that goes around? Is that like a thing that I've never
I,
heard that before?
no idea. I did this one person just plucked up the courage to be like, yeah, do you guys have a shorter lifespan? In a weird way, I get where the logic's coming from. Shorter person, shorter. I don't know, but yeah,
You're being kind, Will. You're being kind. I
yeah,
don't.
he's a yeah, cretin. Yeah.
Well, on that though, do you have a level of empathy when people ask questions, or are you quite rude and raw and like if something you feel is stupid, you shut it down early? You make them know.
It all depends on the context and the tone and the way it's done. So I think any question is fine, done in the right way, in the right tone, in the right. And if I feel it, yeah, ask anything you like. But second someone's a bit, I don't know. I feel like their intentions aren't quite right, or you know, I've just met them, or yeah, and you can sort of judge where people are coming from. If it's a genuine question, like it's not an issue, it's like not a big deal, and I'm happy to do that. That's like good to
No, for
talk about
sure.
it and explain it. Yeah,
No, for sure, man.
yeah,
Well, Will, let's come full circle. You said at the start that you were a 9 out of 10 in terms of your coolness. I listen. You performed the is it London Palladium, London Palladium,
yeah.
right? I don't know many people that get the honor and the privilege to perform at somewhere so prestigious. You've created your own and write your own show, your own content. You're a regularly touring comic. I'd love to be funny. Like there's a few jobs that I'd like. Honestly, I would love to be the sort of person that for a living could make
Mm.
people laugh. I think it's one of the greatest jobs, one of the hardest jobs also um, to do. So I think you're definitely up there when it comes to the coolest person in the world. You're not quite my level, not quite me. Let's have it right. Not quite a JJB, but
What?
you're
What are
pushing
you?
me, bro.
Are you a 10 out of 10?
Well, I'm 11. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
11
you're
for
11.
sure.
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I
11.
should have.
I'm 11.
I should have
I'm 11.
guessed that. Yeah,
Obviously I'm 11. Do you know what I mean? Um,
you're
but
11.
I'm happy to go over 9. I think you're super cool. I wouldn't have invited you on this podcast if I didn't think you were cool and good at what you do. So I'm not going to dispute your 9 out of. And also, when someone says that they're a 9 out of 10 in anything, I kind of rate the confidence. I rate the confidence, Will, and that alone is like, you know what? Me and
Just
you can be
had to do
friends.
it. Had to do
Me
it.
and you
Had
can
to
be
do it.
friends.
I couldn't be bothered to go in with a one, a humble one.
The whole fake humble thing is nah,
Yeah.
it can't be.
One. One. I'm a terrible person.
You're dope and you know it. So shout about it. I love that. Listen, Will, we're
All
gonna put
right.
all your handles and your
Yeah. Nice.
socials in our description so people can find you wherever you are. Thank you very much for coming onto the podcast. Really enjoyed that. Really appreciate your time. You guys out there, do not forget, subscribe, share, whack it in the WhatsApp group, show us some love, leave us a comment, all that good stuff. As I mentioned, Will's handles will be in the description below. Go check him out. He's very, very funny. Till next week. Peace.